And now, the finale of Stuck in Wuhan, Part 3.
Stories that people that was the same case for people going to the hospital that were having to walk, miles to get to the hospital sick. Is there a Wuhan newscast locally in Wuhan that lets you know what's going on in the city, or is it just kind of propaganda being?
Mean, there's a lot of propaganda, but I'd say we mostly rely on our WeChat groups, our chat groups. I'd say that's our main conduit of information is just these groups and, providing us with information. Mostly the Americans in Wuhan group, at least that was my experience. I was really relying on these. We had an evacuation group, there still is, one that Ben's brother set up. That was our main source of information, these groups. And consequently, we had reporters, for better or worse, we had reporters flooding our WeChat groups.
Really?
So,
Yeah.
Wow.
Now they're starting to purge them.
You purged them? Oh, well, thank you for letting...
No, not me, but the administrators of some of the groups are starting to get rid of them, to hunt them down.
Well, some of them, I think, were a little exploitive of the people. Okay.
Yeah.
Took advantage of their nervousness or their, and pushed them. I didn't give any interviews personally, but I heard some people were kind of pushed to put more drama.
Yep.
I heard there was one person in particular who did not want to be interviewed that kind of had like a viral moment, I guess you could say. And was really, I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. You mean a woman, right?
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Well, if you don't want us to say the name, I won't say the name.
She didn't say we couldn't say her name. She just didn't want to be interviewed. Her name is Flora.
Oh, okay. And, yes, I know Flora. Yeah, Flora. I was just talking to her right now.
Really? Yeah, she didn't want to be.
Yeah, I think her moment. The reason why she went viral is because she kind of had a breakdown. But at the same time, we all kind of felt the same way. It was her response to it was like a response to the absurd. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no logic to really what's happening. The situation that we're in, we didn't ask to be in it. It's all so absurd. And her reaction was kind of extreme. It is extreme. And it went viral. But at the same time, I think we can all, being stuck in this situation, we can, in some ways, empathize with her just because of the absurdity of the situation we find ourselves in. You never think it will happen to you. Never.
Well, I couldn't imagine something on the scale of what this is, okay?
I'd say it's quite historic.
For people who don't realize that China is shut down,
right.
Okay? Every big city in China is shut. When I go to work in the morning, I can take my temperature, and I have to log on to my phone and put my temperature in there. And then at lunchtime, they come up by my office and take my temperature. Every day, we have to apply to go to work the next day now, okay? And the government's got to approve it. And 2 days ago, a company here in Suzhou, right where I live, a couple blocks from here, had one person test positive, and they quarantined every person in the company, 200 people. And so you get this feeling like it's only a matter of time before somebody around me tests positive, and then we're going to lock it. If one person in your building tests positive, they lock your whole building down. You're quarantined.
You're in
Chengdu can't go out.
Well. Yep, here too. So I want to ask you guys, because you mentioned before how like everything is great through the WeChat app when you are getting information, unlike the situation Benjamin was saying where he was trying to get information out, he couldn't get it in. But in general, how do you guys think the mainstream media coverage has been of the situation? Has it been fair? Has it been sensationalist, too alarmist, not enough something? What are your thoughts on that real quick? Because it's on like CNN every day, nonstop.
I can be honest, I haven't watched any of that, okay? I haven't watched any of it. I've just been reading scientific literature and sharing it with my friends, okay? So I can get the truth out there. It's not my opinion. It's the leading world experts and papers that are 3, 4, 5, 6 years old on how these viruses act, so they could know how to decontaminate themselves and know what precautions they should be taking. Because, my God, he was talking about drink garlic juice, okay? And somebody else was, all these, they come out and say, they got a spray you can spray, and you spray it in your throat, and it's going to protect you from the virus. The craziest things you could ever imagine out there, along with the truth.
I got to say, we're really lucky. A number of our groups, like Americans in Wuhan, we're lucky. Expert Charlie, doctors, scientists, researchers. We're really lucky to have people like Charlie to kind of help set the record straight, because there's a lot of misinformation everywhere. You know, I've heard it has a 28-day incubation period, and it's airborne, and its RO is R naught is 10. I've just heard some insane stories, and we have tens of thousands of dead bodies out. So there's such a range of conflicting stories, conspiracy theories. Yeah. It's really hard to distinguish truth from fiction. Fortunately, again, we have some experts, and we have to trust them in a time like this. We have to at least listen to them.
Yeah, I've heard some really.
What I tried to say, if I got asked a question that I didn't know the answer to, I'd tell them, "Look, I don't know the answer. I'll get back to you." And I would go and look up the answers. And I never provided an answer that I didn't provide the links to, because I think that's important, knowing where the information's coming from.
So to answer my question in short, is mainstream media helping, or are you getting more information, or are they not doing a good service to the people of Wuhan, or what?
I think they're getting a little bit more sensational, a lot more sensational of late. And when you do an interview with the mainstream media, they'll be surprised if you say anything remotely positive about the situation, or if you express any sort of confidence. And quite frankly, I don't think that's what they're going for. Obviously not. They want something that gets clicks, that gets views. So if you say anything that's kind of contrary to their, to the story they're trying to make, it might get edited out, and you probably won't get a second interview. And it's kind of been my experience lately. But to be honest, I don't mind having fewer interviews these days. I kind of value my privacy, and it's just been nuts for a lot of Americans here in Wuhan with all the interviews.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to do this. And I will not cut out any of the good parts.
Okay.
Yeah, it's ridiculous to try and push a certain kind of narrative or whatever. That's
exactly
fake news. Just kidding. Okay, so.
Well, I can't imagine anything else that China could do in the past 2 weeks that they haven't done. Okay. There's probably certainly things they could have done in early January that they didn't do. Okay. Right. I think they would say that themselves. They have said that. Okay. That they were a little late in reacting, but I can't think of anything else that could possibly be doing right now that they're not doing.
Yeah, right now they are doing so much as far as I'm concerned. Everything.
There was a huge uptick in numbers last night. Me and Doug talked.
It's crazy. So they're doing a lot to help us, but I guess this brings me to my final question, because there's still stuff that we need. You guys need, especially in Wuhan. My last question is for Douglas and Benjamin. And Charles introduced me to you guys, and I'm very thankful because I really want to help. And what is there that you wish to tell the world about the situation? And most importantly, how can we help you guys?
Maybe Ben can field this one first.
Okay. Well, you asked a question earlier about masks, and it was nice that some neighbors of Charles had brought him masks, but I think here in Wuhan, it's people are definitely staying clear of each other. I don't see my neighbors much. I haven't seen another child in 3 weeks besides my own. There's just everyone staying inside, staying away, and luckily I was able to get some masks the day before quarantine began, and some N95 masks I got. And I only thought, I just need like 3 packs. We just didn't know how serious this would become, and how long. There was no way anyone could have anticipated at the time that we would be quarantined for 3 weeks and possibly still have another month to go or more. We just had no idea the scale at the time, and so a lot of people were not prepared. There's tons of videos with people wearing trash bags and putting, scarves and makeshift masks, whatever they can find, to put over their faces. And there's definitely a shortage. There's hospitals, frontline staff. They just don't have the materials and supplies they need in order to protect themselves while they're trying to take care of patients. And it's led to a lot of infections and unfortunately a lot of deaths early on. And of course, there's been a huge international and outpouring of support and pledging money and getting those things. But all of those supplies, and from my experience and what I've seen here in Wuhan, they're not for private citizens. All of those are earmarked for hospitals. They're earmarked for doctors and people in the front lines treating patients, and maybe even for people that are ill. But they're not for regular people that don't have masks, because everywhere is sold out. Days before the quarantine going around, nobody has them. There's no hand sanitizer, no hand wipes. Shelves are empty. There are no type of mask at all. That's the first priority I listed in the description, is to get some N95 or N99 masks made available to the expats that are still here, them and their families. That's the first priority. Second of all, I think some masks for children, because as we discussed earlier, this is going to take much more longer. Even after the quarantine, people are still going to be taking precautions. People are still going to be wearing masks. And it's going to be a long time before things normalize. And there's no telling when, production's going to keep up and prices will stabilize and shipping and, has been cut to China, flights. And third of all, I think, is something we can't quite see yet because it's so soon. But there's going to be a lot of people, because of the quarantine, we're not able to go to work.
Right.
And they may or may not have the savings, and we still have to buy food, we still need to pay rent, we still have to pay electricity, cell phones, all the regular bills, but there's no money coming in. And I don't know how well some people are prepared for that. And so there might be a time where we need to provide some financial assistance to people to keep their electricity on, to buy food and have it delivered to them, to help them keep, because there's no evacuations. There is no getting out of Wuhan. There's no getting out of the country. So there is no other assistance.
So, guys, I have the website here, created by Benjamin and endorsed by everyone in your Wuhan Americans group. And I'm asking that, whoever watches this video, just donate whatever you can. Doesn't matter if it's $1, $10, or $100. Just by getting some donations in, it's going to show that other people do care about what's going on here. And Benjamin,
recommend the video to your friends.
Yeah, and share it with your friends. Share it on Facebook or whatever, because this is real. I mean, I'm not holding this. This is going to be Benjamin. This is your baby right here. And
I'll help. I'll help out in any way I can too.
Doug and Benjamin.
Thanks, Benjamin. This is awesome.
Yeah, this is fantastic. So you guys know the money will go straight to the source. And I really want to thank you guys so much. I know you have interviews with like all the big names. I'm literally nobody. I just started making YouTube videos about like a week and a half. So I really appreciate you guys taking time to speak with me. This was really rewarding, and I learned a lot from you guys, and I really appreciate it. And I hope we can get whatever we can out to you as soon as possible.
And thanks for helping to promote this cause. It's really awesome. Really great.
Sure. My pleasure.
Yeah, we appreciate it, Lonnie. Yeah, helping us get the message out whichever way we can. So YouTube is definitely an untapped source of potential viewers and unbiasedness and reporting. And,
Absolutely.
we praise your efforts, and we hope to do some more in the future.
Fantastic.
Wish you the best.
I would love to do a follow-up in a couple months talking about how everything's back to normal. That would be great.
That would be wonderful. Let's do a follow-up in 2 months. How everything is perfect, and it's like, great. Guys, thank you so much. Stay safe, stay indoors, and I will chat with you guys soon.
Okay.
Thanks so much. Bye.
Thank you very much, guys.
Bye, Charles.
Hi everybody, please follow our channel, like our video, and give us thumbs up for the YouTube. Thank you. See you next time. Bye.